Hey guys, welcome back to Mustang Diaries, my series on the training and transformation of two wild Mustangs. In my last video, I worked with my yearling filly from the Swasey HMA, doing round penning, touches, and I ended the session by getting her tag off and giving her a new name, Freedom, or Freeda. In this video, I'm going to be haltering Freeda for the first time, and then begin teaching her how to yield to pressure. Despite the fact of being able to touch and rub my yearling in my last session, I'm not able to just walk up to her and touch her. It's something that I have to work up to. So what that means is each session I have to start with round penning. I have to send her out, I have to change directions, and then ask her to face up like I've done here. Facing up just means the horse is facing you square on and giving you two eyes. And this is where we're allowing the horse to have a rest. So I'm trying to associate myself with rest. And you can see she's got this draw coming towards me, which I really like. And I'm just letting her chill out, and I'm trying to be as relaxed and casual as possible. I use my stick as an extension of my arm. I don't just reach forward with my hand, I try to work up to that. You'll also notice my body is turned away from her. This helps me prevent putting too much pressure on her. Now, one other thing I've done is I've looped a rope halter around my belts. You can kind of see it hanging from my pants there. But that's just so I don't bring a new object in. I'm kind of trying to familiarize her with that object. So there she moved away, and so I just sent her out and start over. And this is basically what this session looked like. It was just me round penning and then inviting her in and inviting her to rest by facing up. And this little filly had the habit of just coming forward each and every time. So the next day we start with round penning again, and we kind of have to build up to it again. So I've been round penning Freeda, and here I just asked her to face up with me. And it's that same process again, where I allow her to find rest while she's facing up with me. And every time she walks away from me, then I send her out and round pen her some more. And I keep trying to invite Freeda in because I really want this to be a repetitive thing where she's really understanding that when she faces up, she gets rest. And then I slowly start coming forward towards her, again, using my stick as an extension of my arm. And then start with rubbing her forehead and her nose. And she started to walk off, so I just send her out and start over. So I ask her to face up one last time. And then I try to approach her by sliding my body off to the side and keeping my belly button pointed away from her, again to keep that pressure off. So I'm actually trying to work more on her left side. Now I generally work with both sides of the horse, and that's true, I do both sides with her, but if there's a side I want to be better at, I want to be better at her left side. And that's because when I go to put the halter on, I have to tie that knot on the left side. So even though I really want to focus on the left side, I do also work with the right side, and am sure to just rub her all over as much as I can. And surprisingly, she actually lets me touch her ears and is pretty willing to have me do that. After rubbing her over, I try to get back over on the left side so I can work on that side some more. I switch sides and I pull out the halter that was hanging on my hip. And after balling it up, I let her sniff it and then use it to rub over her, kind of like a curry. And this just helps to infuse her scent within the halter and hopefully make it less foreign to her. So she did really well with this, and I was able to really get in on that back hip, but I avoided the legs just because I'll save that for another day, maybe after the halter's on. And so now I'm going to work towards getting that halter on. I move back over to that left side and rub her all over with the halter, just like I did on the right. And she is being so good with this. I wouldn't expect every Mustang to be this good. But after I've rubbed her, I get the halter ready. And I reach over the top of her neck just to get it around her. And Freeda handled that really, really well. I was quite shocked. And I try to follow her right here because she does not know how to yield to pressure. So I want to make sure that I'm not putting any resistance on her. And just like that, I got it on. And because I was moving quickly, I did tie it loose. So I go to tighten it right now. And there we go. Freeda handled that like a champ. And so then I decided to add my long lead line. And I still take my time approaching her. Each time that I walk away from her, it just takes a little bit of time to get back in there. And I carefully snap it on. And of course, your hands never work so great when you're in a hurry. And now we're ready for a new lesson, which is teaching Freeda how to yield to pressure. And I do this through lunging. So I'm going to be taking what she already knows. She's already learned how to read my body language, and that is really going to help as she learns how to yield to pressure. I start by asking with my body and then giving a little pressure on the halter, which actually was more than a little, it was way too much, and giving a big release when she faces up. And then after she faces me, I'm going to rub her face and then ask her to send off. And there she goes, and I release. So it's very similar to the round penning I've done. So each time I start by asking with my body and then put a little pressure on the rope and give a release once she steps forward. And then I send her the other way. And then release when she goes. And there were a few moments that didn't go quite so well. A couple times she tried to turn around on me, and I just tried to get her to face up to me. And here I'm just moving off to the side for better leverage. And the moment she stepped forward with that left front, I gave her a huge release. I slowed it down to make it easier to see, but you can see her moving forward away from me, and right there, she moved towards me with her left front, and I gave a huge release. That was her yielding to the pressure, so that's why she was rewarded for that. So I just want to remind you that I am by no means a professional. I'm just someone who is trying Mustangs for the first time and trying to figure out this training process. I am a project equestrian, which means I am learning so much. When I watch these videos, I usually cringe because in that moment there, I really set Freeda up for failure because I was asking her to go a direction when she wasn't squarely faced up to me. So that was really my fault, and then I got this reaction here. And so now I'm just trying to keep the pressure on her until she gives to me, like right there, and then I give her a quick release. Every time she steps forward to me, I reward her and give her a release. And there's a nice big release. And honestly, these releases, they should be a lot longer to really actually make it a reward. And so now we've had a little lesson in yielding to pressure, and we're going to go back to lunging direction changes. So this, again, is building off of what she already knows with the lunging and how to read my body language. So I'm going to ask with my body and then put a little pressure on the halter and release when she yields to that. Because she already knows how to read my body language, it makes the pressure a little bit more understandable. And so then we just kept practicing this. sending her out each time, and basically the same stuff as our round penning. I was really impressed with how quickly she picked up on this. I really didn't expect us to be doing this sort of stuff on the first day of her wearing her halter, so what a great surprise. She's definitely a smart little horse. And almost too smart for me right there. I tried to at first get her to face me, but then I realized I really didn't have a chance because of the way the rope was around her neck. I wasn't really sure how to fix that. And so once she faced up to me, I tried to swing the rope over her and gave her a release when it was all over. Another time she tried to turn around and go the other way, and this time I kept the rope low so that it wouldn't go over her back, and then just got myself positioned to the side. And I was expecting this to take a lot longer, but she came forward and got that release. And then we just proceeded to practice this, working off the lead line and working on our direction changes and facing up with the halter and lead rope.
Looking for someone to show me the way when my map is torn up. Give me a light when my torch is blown out. Let me escape from my hideaway. I give up all of my little addictions, but I'm still stuck with some tough decisions, yeah. Now I'm up against the wall, and I'm looking for your attention.
That session went really well. I was really pleased with how well Freeda responded to the halter and then learning how to yield to pressure. So we ended with a little rub, and yeah, I will see you in our next video. Thanks for watching.
And I'm looking for your attention. And I'm looking for your attention. Looking for your attention. Looking for your attention. I'm looking for your attention.
Ready.